Hello boys and girls, children of all ages, and welcome to the Spanish Grand Prix here at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. I don't personally like the circuit, but I'm not the one driving here. All these 20 drivers are the ones that are driving this track today. This season has been a very funny season for quite a lot of the drivers, and quite a lot of the managers are struggling with their finances. Might see a lot of retirements today due to failures. We shall see and wait and see. As the times are just tumbling, Alonso and Ralf Schumacher have done the exact same time. There's a short gaps between all the cars. Coulthard's on pole at the moment. Schumacher second, Bertie second. Bertie's lost a wheel. Bertie not going to complete any more laps.
David Coulthard has beaten his own provisional pole time.
Coulthard still pole. Schumacher second, Hakkinen third. Bertie is completing his laps. "20 minutes left to go."
Quarter of an hour till the end of the session.
All the action is happening. Coulthard on pole, Fisichella second. Fisichella going out in the final 10 minutes. Is he going to beat Coulthard's time? The gap is 2 thousandths of a second. Will he beat it? No, he won't. Coulthard on pole. Coulthard on pole for McLaren. Fisichella second, Hakkinen third, De La Rosa fourth, Schumacher fifth, Webber sixth, Bertie seventh, Button eighth, Raikkonen ninth, Irvine 10th, Heidfeld 11th, Alesi 12th, Montoya 13th. And as we scroll down to the rest of the field, we have Alonso, Ralf Schumacher, Frentzen, Hill, Barrichello, Young and Takagi. As we look at the circuit, the longest straight down towards turn 1 in F1. Look at the rest of the circuit as we come towards the grid. Coulthard on the right, Fisichella on the left, Hakkinen and De La Rosa on the second row, Schumacher, Webber on the third. The lights are going out. No! And looks like we've got a stall, 2 stallers on the grid there. Fisichella is taking the lead from Coulthard. Fisichella's got a good start. De La Rosa, they're all continuing up. De La Rosa's up into third. Hakkinen, both McLarens have dropped position. Round turn 3. Fisichella leads. Coulthard second. De La Rosa third. Hakkinen fourth. Schumacher 5th, Webber 6th, Button 7th, Bertie in 8th, Raikkonen 9th, Irvine 10th, 11th is Heidfeld, 12th is Ralf Schumacher, 13th Alesi, 14th Montoya, 15th Hill, and the rest of the grid are somewhere. Takagi is back there, Barrichello and Frentzen have collided. Barrichello is out of the race. Young is one of the ones that stalled. The other one is Alonso. Both of them stalled on the grid. Young and Alonso both out of the race. What happened at the first corner between Barrichello and Frentzen then? There's Takagi. There's Barrichello. Frentzen spooked out by Hill. Barrichello coming towards the first corner, he goes back and both cars lose a wheel, both cars out of the race. Frentzen and Barrichello out of the race. Fisichella leads.
Frentzen is unable to continue. He's retired in sector 1.
Fisichella leads. Still Coulthard second. third, De La Rosa fourth, Hakkinen. I don't think there's going to be many overtakes. Spain is always a hard track to overtake at. It's going to be all about strategy. 2 versus 1 stops. And that is the most kamikaze thing I've ever seen. And Michael Schumacher has made it work on Hakkinen. Michael Schumacher passes Hakkinen. Just to prove me wrong about the fact that no one can overtake him in the circuit. Round of 2 quick right-handers. Michael Schumacher is not messing around here. He is going for it. De La Rosa is his next target. And Fisichella under pressure from Coulthard. Coulthard tries to go around the outside of turn 2. Nothing there. Round turn 3. The long right-hander. Braking heavy for turn 4. Coulthard down the inside. Coulthard takes the lead. And Michael Schumacher up into 3rd place at the same corner. Heavy braking, the tightest corner on the circuit. Inside the infield section of the Barcelona circuit. Hakkinen 5th. Webber 6th. Button under pressure from Bertie 7th and 8th. Through the chicane. Up the hill towards turn 9. Bertie goes wide, but Raikkonen's nowhere near. Irvine 10th, Heidfeld 11th. 12th is Jean Malaysia, 13th is Ralf Schumacher. 14th Montoya, 15th Hill. Takagi 13, 14, 15. That's why Takagi out of the race. Takagi out. One would assume is a suspension failure. Got the classification. Coulthard, Fisichella, Schumacher, De La Rosa, Hakkinen and Webber. Button, Bertie, Raikkonen have missed all that. Down the straight towards turn 1. Oh, Montoya! Montoya out of the race. That shocked me enough to knock all my cans off. But Montoya out of the race. He becomes already. We already only have 14 cars left on the circuit. Last race, apparently. I didn't watch last race, but last race we only had 10 left. At the moment, this race we have 14 after 2 complete laps. And one would assume we're going to have a lot more. The BAR of Heidfeld. Alazy's just gone wide. Alazy now under pressure, and that is Hill! Hill out! Alazy 12th, Heidfeld 11th. Irvine 10th. 9th Button, 8th Raikkonen, 7th. Hakkinen with the fastest lap. I believe he's surely. Where is Michael Schumacher? Michael Schumacher with a fantastic start. He's up into 3rd. We haven't seen much of the action up front though. Raikkonen putting pressure on Bertie. Bertie 7th in the BAR. 6th De La Rosa. De La Rosa's been passed by Hakkinen at some point. De La Rosa down to 6th. Heavy braking. Raikkonen sends one down the inside Bertie. Bertie lets him go through. Raikkonen up into 7th. De La Rosa 6th. Webber's also passed De La Rosa at some point. Hakkinen 4th. He is following Schumacher. Schumacher in 3rd. He's going to be putting pressure on the 2 guys in front. Coulthard still leads. Fisichella still in 2nd. on that 4 of 26. We're at the top of the circuit here. Coulthard leads round the double right. Fisichella has gone wide. He's let Schumacher go through. Schumacher up into second place. Fisichella's trying again at turn 1. Michael Schumacher second. Fisichella goes back behind him. Round turns 1 and 2. Coulthard leads still. Fisichella runs slightly wide, Hakkinen behind. Fisichella's ran a deep at turn 3. Hakkinen's not close enough to deal any sort of blow to the German. Coulthard leads in the McLaren. Michael Schumacher second. Fisichella third. Michael Schumacher still moving forward. Fisichella's in third. Hakkinen's in fourth behind. Around turn 9 up towards turn 10. Michael Schumacher trying to set up a pass. Have a little look out my commentary box window. You see the Ferrari guys getting ready. This is must be why Michael Schumacher's so quick. He's very lightly fueled. And that is also a good reason. Michael Schumacher stuck in gear. Schumacher out of the race, it looks like. He's held up Hakkinen. Schumacher parks it into the pit lane, and I think that's going to. I don't think it's going to be a retirement. It's certainly going to be a retirement. He's stuck in the first gear and he's slowed into the pits. He becomes the 8th retirement of the race. Schumacher out. Button 8th. 37th, side by side, Raikkonen and De La Rosa. De La Rosa loses another position. He might lose another one. Oh, there's slight contact between old teammates. Rivals last season as well. Bertie going down the inside of De La Rosa. Everyone is passing De La Rosa at the moment. Oh, De La Rosa might hold on. He's held on. No way past at turn 5. De La Rosa's got the racing line. Around turn 6, turn 7, this is fast chicane, not going to really overtake there. And uphill. Sixth is De La Rosa, 7th is Bertie. Is Bertie going to send one down the inside? He's had a look, this is at turn 10. It's a long corner. And he sent one down the inside of turn 11. Fisichella has passed Coulthard into the lead. Bertie has passed De La Rosa into 6th. Hakkinen with the fastest lap. The two Saubers. Oh, Coulthard's in the pits. That's why. Coulthard pits from the lead. Fuel going in. Fuel still going in. Away goes Coulthard. He's going to come up behind Irvine. Behind Ralf Schumacher, behind Heidfeld. Ralf Schumacher has passed. He is in last place on the road. It's round turn 1. Alesi and Heidfeld side by side. Alesi takes 10th. Next up for Alesi is Ralf Schumacher, who's on the back of Irvine. Schumacher thought about sending one down the inside of Eddie Irvine at turn 4. Maybe he'll go at turn 5. Oh, he's thought about it. Irvine takes the racing line. There's 10 seconds behind this battle for 4th now, I think it is. Button. De La Rosa is still in 6th after being overtaken multiple times. Still in 6th. Got Bertie on the back of Raikkonen. Webber in 3rd at the moment. The final sector. This is what makes this track so hard to set up, because there's just so many different conundrums to do with setup. As they accelerate down, Fisichella leads Hakkinen in second. Button 7th, Irvine 8th, Schumacher 9th, a lazy 10th, Heidfeld 11th, 12th is Coulthard. Braking hard for 10th, 7th and 8th. Turn 9, quick right. In a short burst, accelerated to turn 10. McLaren ready, Hakkinen pitting in the end of this lap. Turn 11, 12 and 13. Quick corners. And Hakkinen into the pit lane. The target is Coulthard, and you'd assume they would be easily in front of Coulthard. Oh, he goes! Down the pit lane goes Hakkinen. Is he going to end up in front of Irvine? This is the Irvine-Ralf Schumacher battle. This is going to get a little bit juicy here. A Lazy and Heidfeld have joined in a side-by-side. And Hakkinen is in between Frentzen and Irvine. A Lazy and Heidfeld are also in between. It's not even Frentzen that they're in between, it's Ralf Schumacher. Hakkinen, this is 10-5. Sauber ready in the pits. That is an engine. That looks like an engine smoking. It's the engine of Ralf Schumacher. And that is getting ever worse. It is completely billowing into a Lazy's face. And that Arrows is not healthy. Hakkinen putting pressure on Irvine. We're up Schumacher. We're on turn 12, turn 13. Final corner and down the pitch straight. That engine is still going. And it's gone. And it's smashed right. A Lazy. Oh dear. That's Webber. And Webber's a smash into the barrier as well. That is a high speed accident. And a Lazy and Webber are both involved. So Schumacher's engine lets go now. He pulls off to the side. A Lazy is just Heidfeld trying to get out of the way, and there's Webber. All three drivers are confirmed to be okay. Webber is actually in the pit lane at the time. He's just an innocent bystander of all this, and he's just smashed there. All three drivers are okay after the accident. We're down to 9 drivers after the dramatic accident involving Schumacher, Webber, and a Lazy.
Renault are ready in the pits.
9 drivers remain. Coulthard is still last. Heidfeld 8th. Hakkinen 7th at the moment. We're close to having all 8 positions for the points being decided. Fisichella, after all that drama, Fisichella pits from the lead.
Fisichella, the race leader, is entering the pits now.
Fisichella in the pits. The jacks are up. The wheels are slowly being changed. Bertie takes the lead because Raikkonen has pitted. Button's in third. Means that Rosa is in second. Fisichella is miles ahead of the rest of the field. He's got a 10-second lead over Irvine. Button's in third. Still very close between Button, De La Rosa and Bertie. But unfortunately I think there's quite big gaps between all the rest of the fields. Which means you might want to sit back and pull yourself a cuppa, because I think this might be a little bit of a procession now. BAR ready in the pits. Bertie ready to dive it into the pits. Is he going to feel to the end? I'm not too sure. He's on the cusp of doing it. We'll soon wait and see. Bertie takes a shallower line. De La Rosa takes over the race lead in his own Grand Prix. Button's in second. Fisichella has a 10-second lead at the moment. Into the pits. Fisichella's going past. Hakkinen in fifth at the moment. The fuel hose is still in. Fuel hose is still in. And he is fuel till the end. They're side by side, Irvine and Hakkinen. Coulthard and Heitfeld are close by. And there goes Raikkonen. It's a few battles places. Raikkonen out. Heitfeld 7th. Coulthard and Heitfeld battling. Struggling to stop the BAR. Up the hill. Harvard's gone wide, and I think that's going to be the end of the battle between Heitfeld and Coulthard. Hakkinen and Irvine still battling. De La Rosa and Button, the gap is 2 tenths. Fisichella third. Button goes slightly wide. Irvine Hakkinen. They're just in groups of 2 at the moment. All these drivers. As De La Rosa still holds on to the race lead. We are barely halfway through the race and have 9 drivers left on circuit. Heavy braking. They're side by side. De La Rosa spun. Button has spun De La Rosa. De La Rosa takes an interesting line back onto the circuit. Now there's going to be words to be said between the 2 drivers. But who's in the right and who's in the wrong. Surely. As we look at all the retired people. And there's a lot of them. Webber, a lazy Schumacher. Bertie's in 9th. Heitfeld and Coulthard are still close by. Jordan already in the pits. Coulthard 6th. Hackney's in 5th. Irvine 4th. Fisichella 3rd. De La Rosa's in 2nd. Button leads. Button De La Rosa, the closest battle is no longer a close battle. But this might have a huge advantage to Fisichella. Button pits from the lead. De La Rosa in 2nd. The car goes on the jacks. Fisichella takes over. Away goes Button. There goes Irvine and Hackenden. The side by side between Coulthard and Heitfeld. Button's going to be in between them. They're going to sandwich Coulthard and Heitfeld. Sandwiching in between Button. Round the long left. Button's letting Heitfeld go through at turn 4. They're in different races, probably wise. De La Rosa lets Raikkonen through. Again, they don't want to be too caught up in battles that they're not going to be really up against. But in 6th. Heitfeld in 5th, Coulthard 4th. So racing up the hill, Coulthard's in 4th still. We've got the 3rd place guys of Hakkinen. 2nd place Irvine. But Irvine's out of sequence, he's not pitted yet, everyone else has. Apart from Heitfeld. Irvine's on the ultimate alternate strategy, shall we say. Irvine 2nd, Fisichella leads by 12. Closing down the pitch straight. Very stagnated between the two drivers. Around turns 1 and 2. Coulthard needs this Hakkinen. Trying everything he can to pass the Jaguar. 2 drivers behind. Fisichella though in a world of his own. Fisichella the lead, Renault. Looks to be on his way to another victory this season. Irvine 2nd, Hakkinen 3rd. Coulthard 4th, Heitfeld 5th. The 4 drivers are very close to each other. Jaguar ready in the pits. And BAR, so Irvine and Heitfeld pitting at the same time. Irvine taking a wide line at turn 11 and then they've got the double left turns 12, 13. In goes both of the drivers. in the pits. Out at the same time. Obviously, they're going to have the same fuel put in. Right, left. Raikkonen fifth, left, right. Hakkinen and Coulthard, the two McLarens. This is the closest battle now on circuit. I don't think there's another close battle. Irvine and Heidfeld have had the same gap throughout the race. Hakkinen and Coulthard. 2 tenths separate the two drivers. Two McLarens side by side as they come towards. All Button and Raikkonen are next to each other, but they're on different strategies. De La Rosa 6th. Oh, Raikkonen nearly hit the back of Button. 37th. Irvine 8th. Heidfeld has actually dropped back a little bit. 1.6 seconds the gap between Irvine and Heidfeld. Raikkonen down the inside of Button. Button lets Raikkonen through. Just like De La Rosa. Now the closest gap is the two McLarens are going to have to... They're going to be pitting this at different times, obviously, because of the two teammates. But who's going to jump at the pit stops first? McLaren ready. Trying to look out to see which driver it's going to be for. You'd assume being the lead car, it would be Coulthard. Round turn 11. Who's going to take a different line to turn 12? The answer is Coulthard. Coulthard goes into the pits. Hakkinen stays out for one more lap. That's advantage Hakkinen actually, because of the fuel difference. All 4 tyres changed. Not much fuel going in because we've got 7 laps to go. Including this. Away goes Coulthard. De La Rosa are going to be in front. And they're going to be in front of Bertie. So there's absolute zero battling between Coulthard and Bertie. The gap is 3 seconds. De La Rosa's gap 4 seconds. Coulthard's in the middle of nowhere. Renault ready for Fizzy. Raikkonen's out of sequence. Hakkinen still needs to pit. But Fisichella, the race leader, 14.5 second lead. And he goes round the final corner into the pit lane. His target is Jenson Button. Is he going to be in front of Jenson Button? Hakkinen not pitting. Change of all 4 tyres. Hakkinen moves into the lead. Fisichella is out. It looks good. It's looking good. Away goes Fizzy. There is Raikkonen, and he is well ahead of Kimi Raikkonen. Meaning he is ahead of Button. And I'm afraid to say this, but I do believe that these next 6 to 7 laps are going to be 9 cars going around the circuit, not battling each other because I know any of each other. Hakkinen, please come out and buy someone. Raikkonen third, he's out of sequence, he's got a pit still. Button, De La Rosa, Coulthard, Bertie, Heidfeld. Actually, Heidfeld and Irvine are close. Heidfeld and Irvine are next to each other on circuit. Irvine side by side with Heidfeld. And there's slight contact to makes the move stick though. The two Finns are pitting this lap. Into the pits goes Häkkinen and Raikkonen. Where's Häkkinen going to come out? We shall see. Fuel hose is in. Tyres are on the car. Fisichella. Oh, he's just going to come out ahead of Raikkonen. That's lucky. There's Button. And there's a bit of a gap between... Oh, De La Rosa's coming down the pit straight. But at the moment, there's no... Oh, De La Rosa's catching a little... We might see a battle for third. De La Rosa fourth. Coulthard fifth. 36th. Seventh is Raikkonen. Raikkonen's come out in front of Bertie and Irvine. They're close though. We might see a battle for seventh. At the moment, it's the battle to not score a point. Heidfeld ninth. Been overtaken. Overtaken iPhone, sorry. (36th), Coulthard 5th. De La Rosa 4th. Third place Häkkinen. Second place Button, but out in front with an 8.5 second lead. Giancarlo Fisichella. Romping to victory at the moment. Button, winner of the Italian Grand Prix last race, in second. Häkkinen, third for McLaren. These are turns 1 and 2. De La Rosa's in 4th for Jag. Wow. 5th place David Coulthard. 6th place Bertie. And there's a huge dogfight for 7th between Raikkonen, Heidfeld and Irvine. Round the long right. Irvine looking for anything. Heidfeld has passed Raikkonen, 7th. But I don't think that's the last we're going to see of this battle. Can we just look at this battle for the rest of the race? Because I think it's the only battle we're going to be seeing. Unless De La Rosa catches up to Häkkinen. Up round turn 9. Häkkinen's lost a little bit of ground to Heidfeld. Fisichella leads. Oh, that's a little close. Button's in second. Third Häkkinen, 4th De La Rosa. Now closer up, Coulthard 5th. Sixth is Bertie. How about Raikkonen and Irvine? The final 4 laps here at the Spanish Grand Prix. Coulthard's in 5th. Pedro De Rosa 4th. Well, second in that, I think they're slightly catch up the bottom. They might be slightly catching up to button. Round the final corner. We might have a showdown in the final 3 laps. We shall find out. Racing through turn 3. Hackett in 3rd, Button 2nd. They're catching Jensen ever so slightly. But I'm going to have to look at his mirrors more. He's just not catching up to this guy, Busy Keller, who leads for Renault. And they have caught up to Button. We're in for a showdown for 2nd in the final 2 laps. I'm glad we got some action. Because I was going to fall asleep probably. But we have action. Hakkinen had a little look. But it keeps hold of 2nd. The roads go slightly wide. Hakkinen down the inside of Button. And that looks like it's going to be 2nd place. No. Oh, they're still side by side. Oh, he's let the door open. Oh, slight contact. There's more contact. In fact, I'll tell you what. Oh, De La Rosa's gone wide. I think that might be it for De La Rosa. Considering the fact that Button took De La Rosa out. They are side by side. Pretty much. As we come towards the final lap, Fisichella's already started it. Into the final 2 corners. We start the final lap here at the Spanish Grand Prix. Button has a slight lead. De La Rosa is back up to Hakkinen. Hakkinen comes out to defend. Hakkinen stays in 3rd. Round turn 3. Hakkinen darts to the left. Is Hakkinen going to send one down the inside at turn 4? Yes, he is. Hakkinen takes over 2nd place. Now it's De La Rosa's turn. Can De La Rosa do something? Oh, De La Rosa's there. You can see him. You can see him poking his nose. De La Rosa 4th. Coulthard is 3 seconds down the road. But forget about that battle. This guy has not put a foot wrong all race. He has controlled the pace. What are we doing, cameraman? What are we doing? There we are. Fisichella. Round turn 13. To win the Spanish Grand Prix. Hakkinen is going to end up in 2nd place. Mika Hakkinen second, Phil McLaren third place, Jensen Button,
Hakkinen
De La Rosa fourth. He's not on the podium on his home race.
has finished in third position.
Coulthard finishes fifth.
David Coulthard has finished fifth.
It's still sideways side. Bertie finishes in sixth. It's going to be Raikkonen seventh, Heidfeld eighth, Irvine ninth. The battle that promised so much coming into the final 6 laps, and no one overtook anyone. But all eyes are on this man, Giancarlo Fisichella. For Renault, he will extend his lead in the title race. He's looking like the man to beat this season. Into Parc Ferme. In goes everyone else. Fisichella wins, Hakkinen second, Button third, De La Rosa fourth, Coulthard fifth, Bertie sixth, Raikkonen seventh, Heidfeld eighth, Irvine ninth. As we look through the lap times, I don't think anyone beat Hakkinen's fastest lap. I don't recall anyone beating Hakkinen's fastest lap. Into the stragglers at the end, the ones who failed to finish. The dramatic accident. There'll obviously be words between Jordan. We are off, Jordan and Jaguar. We are off to Austria next, I believe. Thank you very much for watching.